Hey Monsters, here we go. This is the best I can do. I wanted to do it live version on purpose. I promise there is a purpose, and I'll get to it in a minute. Live, and you ain't quit laughing at me. All right, here's what we got going on today. Obviously, we are into Unit 3. The bit.ly is a little bit cut off on the screen here, but it is still on the agenda board. You guys know where it's at. So it's going to be 3 November, Quebec, Papa Juliet, Sierra November. Also, it is posted on Schoology, as are the rubrics. You have the access to those that are here in the slides. They're on Schoology. We're following along on the slides of daily activities. Check your emails or Schoology. Support your team. Sit with your team, as Mr. Iglesias taught us. Work hard and be nice. Floor your water. Respect our materials. Keep your phones away. If you do run into a struggle, go ahead and flop like Rosie. Breathe in. Breathe out. Wiggle it. Bow. Now you're ready to figure this out. We're trying to teach peace in here. Let's go ahead and get started since it is test day. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Here we are, Unit 3 summative, February 8th. That is going to be today. Unit 4 begins tomorrow. The midterm ends tomorrow. Summative report. I can use feedback from classmates to make projects and programs better. I can manage my time wisely so I can get projects done, whether working alone or with partners. I will consider what I did and how the project can be improved for the future, both my process and the overall directions. I can predict how what I worked on could be good or bad for the world overall as we continue into the future. I'm able to create my own work by using the tools provided. How do I use feedback to make projects better? How do I manage my time? What improvements could be made on my challenge? How is my challenge related to the outside world? And what could I create with the provided tools? And I can write what I have learned through this challenge, or I can speak to what I have learned through this challenge. I used to use Flip for the speaking part. Caused a lot of confusion for students, so if you feel more comfortable speaking it out and having somebody else type it up for you, please just let me know. Happy to help you out on that. What do we start out today in Fuse? Our bell ringer will be any final questions before the test. It's an open forum to answer one another. We'll get to our test day PSA in a minute and then review the depth and knowledge of questions. Second Fuse Challenge summative report will be the main activity for today. And some Fuse Challenge work time if needed at the end, silent until all quizzes are done. And then of course our exit ticket, checking in on how you did. I want to draw your attention to a couple of things. Made some copies. Mentioned the rubrics are on Schoology and they're also on the slides. Made some copies though. This one is two-sided, the weekly Fuse preview and the weekly Fuse summary. I recognize for this unit, those things are closed down, but it's useful for Unit 4 starting tomorrow. You will have a summary at the end of class tomorrow. The other thing I want to draw your attention to, since it is test day, the test rubric can be a little bit intimidating. That's just the nature of standards-based grading. I apologize. I don't have any control over that. It is the way of the world, though, so I just want to draw your attention to it. There's about a half dozen copies of these floating around the room. Feel free to grab one and use it for you on the test. Page 1 has Part 1. Page 2, obviously Part 2, Part 3 on page 3. I'm sure this will blow your mind. Part 4 is on page 4. Part 5 is on page 5. Does have the proficiency scale across all the sides. And then the final page, page 6, if you finish your quiz and you're still looking to do that makeup assignment because you're missing some weekly Fuse previews or weekly Fuse summaries, this rubric is on the last page of the test rubric right here. So I want to draw your attention to that in case you want to take a look at this after the test, once you got that work completed, because I don't want you to fall behind on things. Also a reminder, let's see if I still got this up here. Sure don't. Also a reminder that you can improve your grade by the work that you do on this quiz. This quiz can potentially replace your grades from the previous test that you guys might have done. So when we look at my fake class, if this wants to actually come up for us, we can see here that Clark Kent did not do the spaghetti structures test. He did very well on the second summative, so that's going to be his current grade, 77778. I know with standards basic it's a little confusing. Roughly speaking, that's probably a B+, might be an A-. Kind of depends on this work done during the unit, which seems like it should be okay because he did a 7 on the makeup assignment here. Likewise, Oliver Queen did the first quiz but did poorly on it. Did really well here. We can see Kara actually did really well on the first quiz, skipped the second one. My point being, whatever you happen to do, you should be able to improve the score that you have there. You should be actually able to improve the things that you're doing. You only really have the ability to get a better grade as you go through the class rather than having things get worse. I'm going to get out of the way, leave that open forum for any questions that people might have, and then get you some time to work on the quiz. Have a really great day. Be nice, everybody. Love you. Happy Thursday.